I'm Debbie Bell-Hosking for FinextraTV here in London at Cybos 2019. And I'm speaking to Michael Bellacosa of BNY Mellon and Craig Young of SWIFT. Hello, gentlemen.
How are you? Hello.
We're talking cloud in the financial services industry. First question has to be, what are the benefits of cloud-based solutions?
I think there's many benefits. First and foremost, if you look at it from a scale perspective, you have a near infinite amount of hardware and software resources that can be deployed globally and as a pay-as-you-go service. So it adds a lot of flexibility and efficiency to the industry. The other area is really on how quickly you can deploy applications and at scale. So you have the ability to get much greater reach than you've had in the past. And since it is an infrastructure, you can scale up and scale down very easily. But as banks themselves have been moving towards the cloud, they've been looking with many people to partner with, not only in just providing value-based services, but more importantly, looking about how they trust this new network as they move to the cloud. And for myself and what we've been building within SWIFT has really been focusing on helping enable those environments. So if I think about some of the work that we've started with BNY Mellon, we've come quite a ways in the 6 months that I've been partnering back with the teams. And frankly, it came, and the whole concept came from the environment of trust and how do we best build those capabilities into the systems.
Yeah, so we really love the scalability of the solution, right? Once it's out there, the ability to build on it, add capabilities on top of it, and that scalability really becomes important. Another key factor for us is the maintenance component, right? So once maintaining core systems and underlying that you have from an existing infrastructure perspective, keeping them as up to speed and updated as the technologies evolve and the underlying core capabilities evolve is a lot of time and effort, right, to dedicate it to that. So not having to be involved with that and maintain that on an ongoing basis is definitely beneficial. And then lastly, ultimately the cost associated with maintaining large mainframe structures and capabilities tends to be a little bit challenging, right? So it helps with cost reduction over the longer term.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. And I think there's also an opportunity really where the customer expectations have changed, right? So not only is it driven by the need for a frictionless payment network, but really driven by the innovation behind it, the competitiveness of the entire marketplace, the cloud itself, and it's really forcing us as an industry to focus much deeper on the client than we have in the past, because clearly anything good for the client is good for the industry.
Yeah, and even the resilience component of it, right? Having another core set of capabilities in the delivery of the core platform under a different model, in a different location, it makes you more resilient in terms of what you're offering. So you can have your terrestrial activity that you're running in one respect, and then you have cloud-based services someplace else. It just gives you much more resilience and a much better overall service in terms of what you're trying to provide to clients.
So we've touched on the benefits. What would you say are the challenges of cloud-based services?
Well, I think the challenges are in many fronts. One is just the modernization of your back end. If you're purely to lift and shift an application to the cloud, you'll never realize the benefits of moving that infrastructure. The other side is an education item, which frankly, we as an industry have all been moving towards, but the regulators as well have to move along with us on this journey. It's one of pure risk in defining the overall measures, and frankly, what are the types of services you want to bring into that environment?
Yeah. The enablement piece is important, right? And as Craig said, just shifting what you have over is somewhat problematic. So how you design your systems, what they do, how they work, there's a shift that has to take place there, which takes some time. And I think the other side of it is there's certain things that we're more comfortable migrating today than we will be in the future. So today there's a lot of things like sandboxes and API testing and development components that we're much more comfortable placing in the cloud because production-like activity, real payment transactions are not there. That will evolve, and I think everybody will get comfortable with it over time. But for today, it's going to be a journey to get there. But for today, there's other things that really make sense to be there. For now, more to come at a later date.
And Craig, how would you say SWIFT is enabling customers to meet some of these challenges that you mentioned?
Well, I mean, SWIFT itself has a vision, and we've been building to it already, of a vibrant, rich ecosystem where banks can leverage us to build layered services, to build individuality and uniqueness towards their offerings. The other side is third parties, being them to be able to invest with us as well, to build value-added services, and more importantly, really drive innovation across the entire chain. The other area that SWIFT has been heavily investing in is in APIs, and a significant portion of what we do at SWIFT is really surround security. And the one thing I could say from a trust anchor, the development we're doing in APIs carries forward those same traditions that we've always had with regard to security. Along with that, we've been helping customers who've not only moved to the cloud, but customers who are thinking about moving to the cloud, where we're offering now Cloud Connect. And what Cloud Connect does is, if you look at some of the banks, and particularly the startups here in London that have moved to the cloud, the last remaining pieces of infrastructure that live in their environment are SWIFTs. So this allows them to now free up that infrastructure, eliminate the cost from that side, and provide that secure connectivity. And the same goes true for those who have already moved, making sure that we can create that establishment. So it's gone a long way, the intent is to continue building upon that product to help customers evolve to this future.
Oh, Michael, do you have anything to add to that?
So we believe the criticality of SWIFT in terms of providing the infrastructure and working with them and having the different options available to us and our clients in terms of how you connect becomes really important. We touched on a little bit about resilience and what that means, but also the way we deploy our services and enable that. The network that we have and the community that we have within the SWIFT environment is tremendously valuable, right? So that value to us and continuing to build services around that is really, really, really important. So it's working, and we've done some good work recently in trying to see how can we make this and test with end clients to make this cloud-based solution work across a broad spectrum of activity. We've had some really good success, and we're going to continue pushing that forward.
Great. Gentlemen, on that note, thank you for sharing your insight.
My pleasure.
Thank you.